evolve, okay? Our main code is evolution, all right? So whether you are a Christian or a Buddhist or a Muslim or an atheist, you can all agree that in all the books, they want mankind to evolve, get better. A better version of himself has to be there, right? And that's the mentality of IMC Nation, to evolve. Now, one thing you may have not noticed is that evolution requires some change. How are you going to evolve without change? And if you haven't noticed, change is going to result in the destruction of something and the creation of something new. It's part of change, all right? So one of the reasons why people can't change is because they try to hold on to old stuff. Now, Christ said, let the dead bury the dead. What does that mean? Okay? He also walked up to a tree, if you don't know, and he commanded the tree to never bear fruit and die. Now, why would Christ do that to a tree when you're supposed to love all trees? Why would he do that? Well, he explained it. He said, by its fruits you should know it. And the fruits of this thing are no good. It shouldn't go anymore. Good. Now, ready? If he did that with the tree, you don't think God did that with mankind? Right? If a tree didn't live up to bearing its fruit, what about mankind? So what is mankind's fruit? Right? We can see what a dog's fruit is. The dog's a little companion, helps guard us, heals some of the sick, can detect diseases in the body, can detect things that shouldn't be in the environment, like drugs or whatever, right? The dog is expressing its nature, and so we take care of it, right? The dog has to take no thought for the morrow, as Christ said. Why? Because God, through man, will take care of him. Give him shelter, give him food, bathe him even, fucking take him to the fucking hospital, right? So the dog, when he plays out his nature, we take care of him. The cat also is playing out his nature. And so we take care of the cat. And we put up with all kinds of crazy shit. What do? We pick up their poo after them. So that means that if you shit, God will pick up the poo after you too. It's as above, so below, right? Whatever, or an angel. I think God is way up there, but a part of him is here, right? A part of him is in the dog, and a part of him is in the angel. A bigger part is in the angel. A bigger part is in me than the dog, and a bigger part in the angel than me. So it's like this, doom, 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 right? A part of me is in my cells right now, right? Whatever I'm experiencing, every cell is experiencing. If I'm stressed out, they're all stressed out. If I'm tired, they're all tired. If I'm happy, they're all happy, right? So the cell is a part of me, but I'm greater than the cell because it takes a lot of cells for me. But that's one cell is only in relation to himself and maybe the few cells around him, right? He's a smaller consciousness of me. I'm a bigger consciousness of him, right? And so did it stop at me? That would be weird, right? Didn't stop at me. So the fruits of mankind are to use his intelligence to do what we do, okay? And just like Christ said to the tree, no more fruits for you, die, right? You look at your life and there's not enough fruits. You look like you're a withering tree, right? I think the command from the Creator is die, suffer, okay? Suffer and die. Why? Because the path is laid out in front of you by many people who came before you. Now it's your choice whether you put your attention over there, because wherever your attention goes, your energy will go. And if you put your attention on the people who listen to nature, listen to God, then you're going to get the fruits of those people. And then if you put your attention on the other people who pushed materialism on you, communism on you, socialism on you, any kind of idea that would make you nothing, not in a way of no ego nothing, bigger ego nothing, right? Then that idea, your attention goes there, your energy goes there, and you're going to get those fruits, right? We call that good and evil, God and devil, man and woman. Woman represents the evil. That's why she's named Eve, right? And that's just a word. Let's go deeper into it. She represents the chaos, which is what gives birth to creation. Doesn't she give birth to creation? The chaos in her All it needs is one code from the man. If he enters one code in her chaos, she then, using that code, creates life through the chaos. So she represents chaos, or yin in the yin-yang, yin-yang, fucking Hypnotica, loves to correct you. Go say yin-yang to him. He'll stop the conversation. He'll stop you right there in the middle of you. Hold on. What did you say? It happened with me and him, the last conversation, right? I said, yeah, and he was like, oh, I got to call you out, buddy. I got to call you out. What did you say? And I was like, I said yang, but it's yang. He's like, oh, well, I just want to make sure that you know this. I said, I know, bro. Okay? I know. So, she represents the chaos that's required, as Nietzsche said, to give birth to a dancing star. But she by herself without a man is just chaos. And she goes around seeking order. And the media knows that, so the media gives her some order. An order to do this. And the media orders her then to work for them, right? To push the agenda of the people that run the media. Now, is the media your friend or not? Just ask about it. Okay? So she is chaos seeking order, seeking order. He, on the other hand, is order. And if he doesn't have any chaos, then that order will begin to get chaotic in himself. Why? He's designed to bring order consistently, the yang energy, right? And that's represented in ancient Egypt with those obelisks, okay? He's designed to bring order. If he doesn't have anything to bring order to, he will start to destroy himself and bring order to himself, right? So I never want to meet a man who's in a hospital who's going to take care of me. If he is healing, he can't lead me. He has to be healed to lead, right? So every man has to go in and create an anti-venom because he's been poisoned. He's been poisoned by his parents, first and foremost, with the greatest intention they had. It doesn't matter, right? A long time ago, if you had seizures, they would burn you at the stake thinking you were a witch. That means one of my girlfriends has been burned too many times by now, okay? Some of those people that did that, they thought they were doing the right thing, but they were ignorant, right? They didn't have enough understanding. They didn't have the words to describe seizures or observe it long enough without superstition, right? And when you observe something with superstition, that's the danger of it. You'll see what you were told to see, right? And when you're looking at your life, you're told to see it that way. You're told to see that if your bank account is low, you're poor, okay? You're not told to see a man with a huge bank account with no experiences behind it. Now, they're both poor and they're both wealthy. You just choose which one you want to be wealthy in, right? So you're told that if you have no bank account, if you're told many things, right? And what you're told is a script of humanity, current times, right? These are the right gods to worship. And if you step out of any of these, you're a weirdo, right? This is how you treat people that are homosexuals. This is how you treat black people. If you don't, then you're in violation, right? This is how, and the society makes sure that if you veer off, even on your own Instagram slightly, you'll be attacked. You might even get banned, right? You might even get banned from expressing who you are, right? So you try to walk this line of being acceptable by who though? Now, let's take a look. Was Christ acceptable to his time? No. Killed him. What about Muhammad? No. What about Buddha? No. Who came around that followed the sheep to guide them? He would have to be a sheep, right? The sheep's going to lead the sheep to another fucking sheep place, right? But they came as wolves. How do we know they were wolves? Because they stood against all the wolves out there. And so when they say, Christ is my shepherd, right? What does a shepherd do? Protects the sheep against the wolves. one of its main tasks, right? And leads them to pasture, right? So every time they made a prophet seem like Eckhart Tolle, then you would know that that's wrong. Because Eckhart Tolle couldn't turn over a table if he tried. He'd be too weak to turn the table over. See that? So now that's the new prophet. Okay? Christ also said surrender. They say the same words, actually. And I like to listen to Eckhart Tolle. Okay? But I also don't miss the condition of the person speaking. Right? But the information, it could come from a rock, it could come from a beetle, or it could come from whoever. It could come from your enemy. The information is valuable, right? And how do you know it's valuable? Because here's what I was going to end with. Because you have to practice. Your life has to be a practice, right? And every master of every art is still practicing. If he's not practicing his art, he's not worth being around. That's for me. Okay? I don't want to talk to the teacher who used to do it. I want to talk to the teacher who's doing it somehow, some way. Helio Gracie, at 90-something years old, was on the mats, watching the classes and teaching. He's doing it still. His body is no longer capable of doing it, but his mind is better than everybody. He can take that technique and make everyone better by giving a detail in jiu-jitsu, right? He's still engaged in it. I don't want him domesticated, living a domesticated life, and now he's going to talk to me about jiu-jitsu. You could talk to me about retiring after jiu-jitsu, and I'm not interested, right? So you have to practice your life, and you walk around pretending mastery of what? Why do you pretend like you got it together when you don't? It's better to just say you don't got it together. You would do better doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's way better. But part of the script of humanity is you're supposed to look successful, in quotes. And then they tell you what that is. To me, a successful person is a fat person in the gym. Every day, though, sweating. To me, a successful person is that same fat person in Subway looking and going, not that, not that, that. He's also successful if he, in the middle of the night, gets up to grab a snack and he grabs some grapes. That's a successful person, right? He just hasn't succeeded long enough for you to measure it. But he has to have a mastery inside to measure every grape he put in his mouth is success. And he's not fooled by society's success, right? Successful is the guy who gets a job and is now working more than he did to make more money. Successful is the guy who's studying sales and gained an understanding that he didn't have. Follow that line into the future. Let's see if he continues that, what happens, right? So they feed you a script of success. It's better to have 6 cars in your garage that says, that's my first car, look at it. Second, third, fourth, here's my 6th car. Versus, I want my first car to be a Bugatti. I want to see the progression of the Bugatti. That's what I'm interested in. How did you get here? Why? Because that's a map I may be able to follow. I'm here to learn about me and life. And you have a perspective that I could never have because it's the experiences you've had, right? So can you share your perspective with me honestly? Not lying to yourself, not lying to me. Can you tell me what you've observed? Even if it's, I'm a total failure, right? You have information I want, right? Where did you fail? How did you fail? What did you learn? Now, if I get to that conversation with you, at the end of that conversation, your failure is less of a failure after you told me about it. And you have to analyze it and not hide it or run from it. That's the movement of IMC Nation, right? And if you missed out, because I see women online that were kicked out of Electra's class, I kicked you out, okay? If it was up to Electra, she would have kept every single student. But she's also my woman and my student and my business partner. That's what a good relationship is, right? I kicked you out. You understand that? And I'm going to tell you why. Because we change lives every day. And by allowing you to sit there and take the one IV that'll save your life and not see enough value in it to pay for it properly when you could pay for everything else. Be late somewhere else, right? Be late on your car payment next time, but don't be late on me, okay? I'm not gonna allow that. Go owe somebody else money. Acquire a debt somewhere else, but not with me, because this thing is saving your life and I know it. And the greatest punishment I can give you is I don't want to teach you anymore. You're done. Now go by yourself in that empty space I found you in and keep watching us. Keep watching us, because I'm not Christ. Christ is my big brother and my teacher. And everyone knows you don't always listen to your big brother. I like to take people who had the opportunity to help and be part of it, and they were given opportunity and they saw it again and again and again and again. I like to see them drown while we go by in a ship. I enjoy talking about it. Gets me excited. Literally, my heart starts beating fast in a good way. You understand that? I'm that guy in charge of this ship that you're relating to. This relationship is run by this captain. And this captain sails that ship and says, okay, they're not doing it. Press the button and let the wave swallow them. Because if we move fast enough, our wave will swallow them. I can create hurricanes in that ocean. Your life, if you were a lecture student and you're no longer there because you got kicked out, will be a living hell. And I curse you with it. I'll see you in the next class. Be the best. Fuck the rest.